You sent the perfect email that was never opened. You watched a lesser mind get applause for your insight. You prepared. You qualified. You were worthy. You were ignored. You are the ghost in the machine of power. Your intelligence has been your cage. They taught you to build a better mousetrap. They lied. The world doesn't beat paths to builders. It beats paths to landowners. Your intellect wasn't leverage, it was shackles. Your diligence wasn't advantage, it was confinement. You were given a rule book for a game that doesn't exist. While the real game was played in shadows, you weren't allowed to see. Networking is the opium they feed the ambitious to keep them chasing ghosts. This isn't a video. This is an intervention. Your silent fury has reached critical mass. You have two choices now. Close this tab and return to your slow death by 1,000 unanswered emails, or in the next 20 minutes, let me show you how to weaponize that fury into the ultimate power, making power chase you. Your rage brought you here. Now let it arm you. You've been playing a gentleman's game in a gladiator's arena. Networking isn't a path to power, it's a ceremony of submission. Your desperation for access is the pheromone that marks you as unworthy of it. The powerful don't connect, they orchestrate scarcity. They don't have coffee chats, they have intelligence briefings. Your perfect emails, your research, your qualifications, these are the rituals of a supplicant. And supplicants get crumbs, not thrones. I'm handing you the master key, not theory. A tactical blueprint. You will learn the oxygen principle, how to become an invisible resource they cannot live without. You will deploy the poison pill protocol, a psychological maneuver that makes your removal more costly than your presence. You will engineer social dominance so complete that powerful people seek you out as a strategic imperative. By the end, you will not chase. You will be the object of the chase. Your intelligence grows fangs today. If these ideas resonate with you, hit that subscribe button for more top-tier content. Also, drop a "Become the Oxygen" in the comments so I know you're ready. Let's dive in. Your current reality is a prison of your own excellent manners. Every time you say, "I'd be honored to learn from you," you are building your own cell. Every time you frame your insight as a humble question, you are digging the moat around someone else's castle. You have mistaken etiquette for strategy, and it has made you a permanent guest in the houses of power. Let us dissect the corpse of your old approach. You identify a target of influence. You perform the ritual, the research, the personalized flattery, the clear ask wrapped in the language of mutual benefit. You hit send, and in that moment, you have lost. You have entered the power dynamics as a subordinate. You have declared through your actions that you have less value than the value you seek from them. You have activated their Machiavellian calculus. How can this person be used? Not respected. Used. You are now a line item on their balance sheet of obligations, a mild debt to be repaid with the cheapest currency possible, a 15-minute call that changes nothing. This is the cage. The cage is not that they ignore you. The cage is that the most you can ever hope for, through this method, is to be used efficiently. You will get the coffee chat. You will get the mentorship. You will get the encouraging pat on the head, and you will remain forever on the outside of the real room, where the silent agreements are made and the true resources are allocated. Your intelligence has been harnessed to serve a game designed to keep you from winning it. The fundamental law of power is not attraction, it is dependency. The goal is not to be liked. The goal is to be necessary. To be the silent, invisible element without which the machine seizes. This is the oxygen principle. Oxygen does not petition the lungs to be inhaled. It is the non-negotiable condition for life. Your transition from supplicant to sovereign begins with this psychic shift. You must stop trying to get something from the powerful, and start becoming something for the powerful that they cannot replicate, cannot purchase, and cannot live without. This requires a ruthless and penetrating analysis of shadow psychology. What is the unspoken, perhaps even unconscious, hunger of the person you seek to influence? It is never what they post about on LinkedIn. The public persona is a mask. You must target the shadow beneath. The powerful are plagued by three hidden famines. The famine of truth. They are surrounded by sycophants who tell them what they want to hear. The famine of foresight. Their success has made them a target, and they are trapped in the present, unable to see the wave that will drown them. The famine of legacy, a deep gnawing fear that their empire will dissolve into mediocrity when they are gone. Your approach is not to offer your skills. It is to present yourself as the unique solution to one of these famines. You become a source of unfiltered intelligence, a provider of strategic foresight, a guardian of legacy. You do this not by saying, "I can do this," but by demonstrating that you already are doing it for yourself in a realm they need access to. The first contact is not a request. It is a diagnostic delivery. You send a piece of analysis, a market shift, a competitor's blind spot, a psychological profile of a key player that is so precise, so valuable, and so clearly absent from their current worldview that it lands not as an email, but as a cognitive event. You attach no request. You ask for nothing. You are simply the courier of a vital piece of reality they have missed. You have, in that moment, deposited oxygen into their atmosphere. The first time they may dismiss it. The second time, it becomes a pattern. The third time, you have established yourself as a reliable source of rare intelligence. You are no longer a person, you are a function, a vital organ in their body of knowledge. And you have done it without ever asking for a meeting. In the kingdom of power, attention is the currency, and scarcity is the law of value. The moment you beg for attention, you declare your own attention worthless. The moment you make your attention scarce and conditional, you imply it is a luxury good. We now weaponize this. You must annihilate all public displays of need. Your digital footprint becomes a curated gallery of enigmatic value. You do not post seeking connection. You post oblique, high-signal insights that act as a psychological filter. The mediocre will scroll past, confused or indifferent. The powerful will feel a jolt of recognition. They will think, "Who is this that sees what I see?" You are not broadcasting. You are laying a trail of breadcrumbs that only a specific kind of predator can follow. This is high-status communication. It assumes an audience of peers and speaks in the coded language of those who already know. When direct contact is strategically necessary, you invert the social engineering script completely. The language of the supplicant is, "Would you be willing to spare some time?" The language of the sovereign is, "My analysis of your Q3 positioning suggests a vulnerability in your supply chain narrative. I have a 12-minute window at 3:15 p.m. next Thursday. If a tactical briefing on this would be of strategic value, the time is available." Observe the architecture. You lead with value, the analysis. You frame your time as scarce, a window. You frame the interaction as a potential exchange of strategic value, not a donation of their wisdom. You have moved from a parent-child dynamic to a peer-to-peer dynamic. You have not asked for anything. You have issued an invitation to a confidential briefing. This single reframe does more to establish power dynamics than 1,000 hours of networking. Gaining an audience is trivial. Becoming a permanent, unforgettable feature of their strategic landscape is the art of war. This is the poison pill. A poison pill in finance is a defense mechanism that makes a company toxic to acquire. Our psychological poison pill is a piece of integrated value that makes you toxic to dismiss. You enter any first meeting with a single objective: to implant a seed of indispensable insight that only you can nurture. The protocol is clinical. You listen with a terrifying, total silence. You are not waiting for your turn to speak. You are performing a deep psychological audit. Then you offer one observation, not an opinion. A cold, factual, surgical observation about a crack in their armor. Your public advocacy for X is creating a silent backlash in segment Y, which constitutes your most profitable customer base. Your team is likely telling you the engagement metrics are strong. They are measuring the applause, not the silent exit. Then you stop. You let the silence hang. You have just performed an act of strategic cruelty disguised as insight. You have given them a new anxiety, and by implication, you have positioned yourself as the only one who diagnosed it. You now have a cognitive hook buried in their mind. To dismiss you is to willingly ignore a threat you have made them aware of. This is the poison pill. You are now associated with the resolution of a critical, uncomfortable truth. In the follow-up, you provide a sliver of the cure, a data point, a contact, a framework, enough to prove the diagnosis was correct and that you hold more of the antidote. You have moved from interesting person to strategic asset. You are now a component. Removing a component from a functioning system causes systemic failure. You have engineered a silent dependency. They must keep you close, not because they like you, but because you hold a piece of their own survival. This is the master stroke, the culmination of weaponized detachment. After you have delivered value, after you have become a component, you enact the most powerful move in the Machiavellian strategy arsenal. You withdraw completely. You do not send a great-to-meet-you email. You do not propose next steps. You become silent, opaque, and utterly focused on your own sovereign projects. This creates a power vacuum. Power abhors a vacuum more than nature does. Your silence is a void where their expectation of gratitude and pursuit once lived. Your absence becomes a loud, deafening question mark. They are left with the value you deposited and the eerie silence of your departure. This triggers the psychological inversion. They must now resolve the cognitive dissonance. They must now invest mental energy in you. Why hasn't he followed up? Did I miss the value? Is he already working with a competitor? You have reversed the polarity of pursuit. Your strategic silence has become a gravitational black hole, pulling their focus toward you. This is when the chase begins in earnest, not a chase of affection, but a chase of strategic necessity. They will reach out, and when they do, you are calmly preoccupied with your own consequential work. You are gracious, but brief. The frame is now unshakable. You are a peer, an ally of circumstance, a rare and valuable resource that is not easily captured. You have moved the relationship from "will you mentor me" to "how can we collaborate?" You have not chased power. You have made power orbit you. These are not tactics. They are the external manifestation of a complete psychological rebirth. The sovereign mindset is the foundation. It is the integration of the Jungian shadow, the part of you that is comfortable with manipulation, calculation, and the exercise of silent, amoral force. This is not about becoming a villain, it is about becoming whole. The nice person was a fragment, a persona designed for social compliance. The sovereign is the integration of that kindness with its shadow counterpart, ruthless, strategic intent. You must cultivate emotional invincibility. The old wounds, the fear of rejection, the ache for approval, must be cauterized. You achieve this by shifting your source of validation from external recognition to internal strategic precision. Your reward is not the reply. Your reward is the flawless execution of the protocol. Your joy comes from the silent, masterful manipulation of the power dynamics themselves. This internal shift radiates outward as an aura of unshakable confidence. You become impenetrable. You cannot be manipulated by flattery or discouraged by silence, because you are the source of both. You are the fox that sees the traps and the lion that frightens the wolves. You have become, in the truest Machiavellian sense, complete. The script is now in your hands. The blueprint for social domination through strategic dependency. You are no longer a petitioner at the gate. You are the architect designing a new gate, and the powerful are gathering outside, wondering what lies within. You now understand the dark psychology of influence. It is not about persuasion. It is about becoming a condition, not a guest, but the oxygen in the room. Not a consultant, but a poison pill they cannot extract. Not a networker, but a sovereign force that commands attention through calculated silence. From this moment forward, every interaction is a field test for your new sovereignty. Every email is a strategic dispatch. Every silence is a weapon. You will feel the old impulses, to explain, to justify, to seek approval. Recognize them as the ghost of your former self, the supplicant, making one final appeal. Starve that ghost. Feed the sovereign. Your transformation requires the final seal. The on-screen video isn't a suggestion, it's the keystone. This is the master key. Do not stop now. The on-screen video matters more than you think. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. I'll see you there. See what others miss. Know what others fear. Become who others can't.